everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. We're jumping right into a seriously fascinating map of human consciousness and the afterlife. We'll be looking at Paramahansa Yogananda's famous autobiography of a yogi to navigate the absolute deepest mysteries of existence. And look, this isn't just some abstract philosophical debate. We're talking about a highly structured, literal map of the layers of our reality. So let's just dive right in.
Right off the bat, we're hit with an incredible claim that completely flips our everyday understanding of life and death. The quote here is from Yogananda's guru, Sri Yukteswar Giri, and he says this after his physical passing. He literally tells Yogananda that he resurrected, fully formed, not here on Earth, but out in a vast, unseen astral world. I mean, wow!
To put this into a real chronological context for you, this mind-bending event went down at exactly 3 p.m. on June 19, 1936. Yogananda was just sitting in a room at the Regent Hotel in Mumbai. Now get this, just 3 months earlier, his guru had consciously left his physical body. That's an event known as Mahasamadhi. But while Yogananda was deep in meditation, a brilliant divine light interrupted him, leading to this unbelievable reunion.
Okay, here's our roadmap for today. First, a miraculous resurrection. Second, the secret of the astral world. Third, the science of the three bodies. Fourth, the causal world and thought. And finally, number 5, ultimate liberation from desires.
Section 1. A miraculous resurrection. The return of the guru.
Now we need to be very clear here. This wasn't some fleeting dream or a hazy internal vision. Yogananda approached this moment with the strict, objective mind of a scientist. Out of this radiant light, Sri Yukteswar actually materialized in a solid, flesh and blood form. Yogananda literally embraced his guru. He verified that he had real, physical density. And during this encounter, his guru dropped a massive revelation. He was now living on a highly evolved astral planet called Hiranyaloka.
Moving on to Section 2. The secret of the astral world. Beyond the physical.
What's totally wild about this is that getting to these higher realms, it actually requires intense spiritual development. Physical death alone doesn't just grant you a ticket. Hiranyaloka is definitely not an automatic destination. The text makes it super clear that only souls who have pushed way beyond standard meditation to reach Nirvikalpa Samadhi, which is basically the highest, most completely unified state of consciousness, are even able to inhabit this brilliantly illuminated astral planet.
And the contrast between our restrictive physical reality and this unimaginably expansive astral reality is huge. Our physical universe is just a tiny fraction of the astral one. Over there, beings don't rely on stuff like dense food or oxygen. They are powered directly by cosmic light. And if an astral body gets injured somehow, it heals instantly, just through willpower. Plus, an average lifespan in this realm is anywhere from 500 to 1,000 of our Earth years. To put that in perspective, that's like living from the Middle Ages to today, in one single lifetime.
Can you imagine a reality where your intuition is basically a hyper-developed sixth sense? The source tells us that in the astral universe, there are literally no spoken words. Beings instantly perceive truth and just exchange thoughts telepathically. And travel? Forget about cars or spaceships. They move across galaxies on actual rays of light, traveling way faster than electricity or radioactivity. It's just mind-blowing. Okay, Section 3. The science of the three bodies. Layers of existence. So according to this science, we all possess 3 distinct bodies simultaneously. First, there's your physical body, made of dense matter, which is what you're using right now in your waking state. Then there's your astral body, made up of 19 subtle elements and energy, which totally takes over during your dreaming state. And finally, the innermost causal body. This one is made of pure thought, and you actually access it during deep, dreamless sleep. Which, by the way, is exactly why that specific state of sleep feels so incredibly restorative to us.
A great way to visualize this is to think of existence like a Russian doll. We are literally living in 3 dimensions at once. Usually, we only pay attention to that dense outer shell. But if you peel that back, you find the glowing, energetic astral layer. Peel that back, and you hit the innermost core, the causal body. The text points out that when we die, we only shed that physical outer shell, but our soul stays wrapped up snugly in those astral and causal bodies.
All right, Section 4, the causal world and thought, where mind is matter.
In this causal realm, the distance between what you imagine in your head and what actually exists in reality, it is completely erased.
Think about it. Down here on Earth, if you want to build a house, you need bricks, months of time, and intense physical labor. In the astral realm, you could create it just using energy and willpower. But in the causal realm, thought literally is the object. The moment you think it, you instantly experience it.
Just look at how the effort it takes to create reality absolutely plummets as we climb this cosmic ladder into pure consciousness. The source notes that while the absolute greatest human minds can only travel the cosmos in their imagination, a causal being actually experiences those travels instantly just through pure realization. The whole gap between knowing a thing and having a thing, it just totally vanishes.
Now, to these causal beings, everything that we perceive as heavy, solid matter is seen entirely as a divided thought of the Creator. And this is heavily influenced by the concept of Maya. Maya is basically the cosmic illusion that fragments unity into separation. Causal beings see right through Maya. They recognize that physical matter isn't really made of electrons, and astral matter isn't just life force. Actually, scratch that. It's all ultimately composed of the microparticles of divine thought.
In this breathtaking state of existence, the universe isn't made up of planets or stars, or even light for that matter. It's just this infinite, beautiful play of consciousness, knowledge, and bliss. Souls don't look at physical faces to recognize each other. They see each other as distinct, joyous points of awareness. Even concepts like death and rebirth at this stage are just shifting ideas happening within the cosmic mind.
This brings us to Section 5, Ultimate Liberation from Desires, Breaking the Cycle. So, what's actually keeping us locked inside this cosmic Russian doll? Well, here is the most profound secret of the whole text. It's not the physical body that traps us, not at all. It's the magnetic pull of our own unfulfilled desires. You see, a bound soul is stuck in reincarnation because it's still craving physical ego boosts or astral sensory pleasures. A liberated soul, on the other hand, has completely extinguished every single one of those desires. And that allows it to finally shed that innermost causal body and merge seamlessly right into the infinite.
Zero, absolute zero desires. That is the exact mathematical requirement for a soul to finally escape the three bodies and experience eternal unity. Until your desire count hits absolute zero, you're going to remain tethered to the whole cycle, just continually putting on new physical or astral coats to play out those lingering wants.
Now, merging into the infinite might sound a bit like losing your identity, but the text is adamant that it's not destruction. It's more like a full drop of water merging into a completely full ocean. And here's something I find incredibly beautiful. Even after achieving that ultimate liberation, souls like Sri Yukteswar actually choose to stick around in those high astral planets. They return purely out of compassion. They have zero karmic obligations left, but they stay behind just to act as guides for others who are trying to complete their final journeys.
Now, as part of this spiritual journey, the text gives a very firm warning about spiritual powers, which are known as cities. These are very real sciences of manipulating consciousness, like manifesting objects out of thin air or traveling vast distances. But they are absolutely not magic tricks for public display. The source specifically cautions that if you treat these profound cosmic sciences like tools to get famous without having immense spiritual discipline, it can be totally disastrous. Misusing them can literally trap a soul in the darker, lower astral realms after they die.
Sri Yukteswar leaves Yogananda with this incredibly profound reminder. He says that until we reach ultimate liberation in the infinite consciousness, even the absolute most beautiful, light-filled astral heavens are really just higher forms of dreams. They are temporary bubbles, and they will eventually burst when the soul finally, truly awakens.
We're going to leave you today with a really provocative reflection drawn directly from Yogananda's own soul-searching journey. The text notes that simply reading about these incredible realms should ignite a deep thirst for truth within you. So I have to ask, do you feel that intense yearning to find God? I really hope this explainer has given you a clear, structured view of this vast cosmology, and maybe even invited you to question the true depth and reality of your own consciousness. Thanks so much for hanging out with me and joining this journey through the three realms.